Hi, this is Theo from ParkourBlogs.com. Today I'm going to review this product, the Acer Switch Alpha 12. This is a Windows 10 tablet, so it competes with the Surface Pro 4, and it comes with a stylus that has pressure sensitivity. Now my review will be from the perspective of an artist, so today I'm going to look at how good this is for drawing purposes. First of all, I want to thank my patron supporters who made this review possible. I bought this second-hand unit for local currency $1,000. I'm going to sell it off at $800. I'm going to incur a loss of $200, and because of my patron supporters I can absorb that loss, and that is what makes this review possible, because I did not get this from Acer. Alright, let's take a look at the physical design and the specification. So this is a competitor to the Surface Pro 4, and here it comes with a keyboard. The price, the official retail price of this tablet is US $750, and it comes with a keyboard. With the Surface Pro 4, it costs US $1,000.50 currently without the keyboard. So if you add everything up, that's a difference of $400 US. It's a very significant price advantage in Acer's favor. 12-inch screen. Depending on which configuration or which SKU you are getting, sometimes it comes bundled with the pen, sometimes it doesn't. But if it doesn't come bundled with the pen, then this is an extra US $40. Now the specifications, well, the unit that I have runs on 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, but it can actually run up to 512 gigs of storage. So let's take a look at physical design. Brush, I think aluminum if I'm not wrong. There's a camera here. This is the stand. Now the stand is a bit difficult to remove because you have to use this slot here and pull it out. It's a U-shaped stand, and there's a rubber here, so it doesn't it's quite good because it has the rubber grip. And this is the keyboard. The keyboard is backlit. I'm not sure if you can see the light, but it's backlit, and typing on it feels quite well. So this is quite nice. And here on the keyboard there is a sleeve for holding the pen. Unfortunately, I have already accidentally torn the sleeve. This is just some sort of plastic that they paste over the keyboard cover. It's not very strong. Now you can put your pen, just slot it in like this. And you can put it in your bag, and if you take the tablet out from your bag and if the pen gets hooked onto something, chances of it tearing is very high, and that's what happened to me. On this side of the tablet we have the power button. You need to press and hold for 3 seconds before it turns on. This is the volume button, and this is the Windows button. If you want to expand storage capacity on this tablet, you can do so through the micro SD card slot that is here, hidden behind the stand. And on this side we have the headphone jack, a full-size USB 3 port. This is a USB Type-C port, and this is the port where you can charge the battery for the tablet. Now the stated battery life is 6 hours, but if you are using graphic software, then it's going to be somewhere around 4 hours to 5 hours, depending on the work that you're doing actually. So far so good. Build quality, generally speaking, is quite good, except for this flimsy flap here. Alright, let me remove the keyboard. So the keyboard attaches to the tablet using a very strong magnet. This is actually no different from the Surface Pro 4 type cover. They actually copy everything down to the material that is used, so this is a very nice matte surface. The first thing that I noticed about this tablet is the sticker that is pasted at the top right, and this Intel sticker here. This sticker shows the key features of this tablet. Now the first feature is this is liquid cooled, so there is no fan, and because there is no fan you can expect silent operation. But it does get a bit warmer compared to the Surface Pro 4 that I've used. It's warm at the back and also warm at the front, so when you're drawing after a while it does feel a bit warm. So the cooling system, I think it's not as good compared to Surface Pro 4. However, it doesn't make any noise. With the Surface Pro 4, the fan, they just turn on randomly for me. So I will say this is an advantage to Acer. Features a full-size keyboard. There is a USB 3 port, the Type-C port. Just now I showed you that Type-C port. You can use that USB port to connect to an external monitor through an adapter. For example, you can plug it to a HDMI adapter and you can plug it into your external monitor. Or you can use an adapter to convert the Type-C port into a full-size USB port. And the resolution for this screen is 2160 by 1440. That's a 3:2 ratio. Now this is a very nice resolution for a screen that is 12-inch. Compared to the Surface Pro 4, the Surface Pro 4 has a much higher resolution, and because of that resolution, many of the older graphic software, the user interface, the buttons, the menus, they are very tiny. But on this tablet, this resolution works very well. I can still see the buttons very clearly. I can still click on the menus very easily. Later, I'm going to show that to you. And here it's the Intel sticker. This is i5. Now you can get different models. It ranges from i3 to i7. For the i3 is a dual core 2.3, and for the i7 is a dual core 2.5. Now the model that I have comes with an i5 that's a dual core 2.3, which is similar to the i3 processor, which also features dual core 2.3, but the difference is with the i5 you get the turbo boost up to 2.8 GHz. The screen has a thicker bezel here compared to the left side, so it's actually not centered. Another thing about the screen is the color accuracy. Acer did not provide any information, and when I checked online to read other reviews, different websites, they reported different numbers for the sRGB and Adobe RGB gamut, so I don't know which to believe. Anyway, from what I can see, the colors are vibrant enough, they are rich enough, so it's good enough for me. Anyway, for budget tablet like this, I'm not expecting a screen that is really that good, but for the price that I paid, I think it is more than satisfactory. The main thing that I like about this screen is this is bright enough. However, if you turn on the brightness to 100%, then it's going to drain the battery much quicker. So now let's move on to testing the different software with the Stylus. The Stylus looks quite good and it's very well built. It features a metallic body with a smooth matte surface. On the side there are two buttons. One is for the right click and the other one is sort of useless. And this is the clip and this is the tip. It is battery powered, so you do need to use a battery. This is the same battery that is used in those Surface Pro 4 pen. This is a 4A battery, so that's AA. To switch on the Stylus, you just have to click one of these buttons here and it will turn on instantly. And when you turn off your tablet, the Stylus will switch off by itself. So every time you turn on your tablet, you need to press this button to turn on the Stylus as well before you use it. The tip is also quite similar to the one on the Surface Pen. This is not a hard tip. The tip is more like a felt tip. It's soft, so you can draw on the glass. You don't get the plastic hitting the glass type of sound. So this is quite nice. I'm not sure how you would replace this if it gets worn out. If I have any information on that, I will put that in my text review. I have a lot of icons on my desktop. Some of these are actually bloatware like Acer Care Center, Acer Documents, Agoda, eBay, Intel HD graphics. Oh, by the way, the graphics card that is inside is actually the Intel HD graphics 520, and other bloatware includes Lazada and blah blah blah. There's no obvious way to uninstall them through the system setting, and when you reset Windows 10 on this tablet, all this bloatware, they still remain. So that is the downside. I guess the pricing for this tablet is attractive because maybe these companies, they sponsor Acer. So let's start with Photoshop. Where is Photoshop? Oops, you need to turn this stylus on, press it once and turn it on. So you can see my cursor running around. The hover distance is around, I would say, 1 cm or less. Before you can use Photoshop without any issues, you should install the WinTab driver. That is not included, so you have to go onto Microsoft's website to find the WinTab driver. I will provide a link to that in the video description below. Now, with the WinTab driver, it enables pressure sensitivity on this stylus. So let's try and open a new file. Okay, so I probably need to attach the keyboard so that I can get the keyboard shortcuts working right. I'm not going to use this keyboard case. I'm going to use my Bluetooth Logitech wireless keyboard, which is more convenient because if I attach the case to the bottom of the tablet like this, it's very difficult for me to draw and access the keyboard shortcuts like this, because sometimes I need to access shortcuts on this side, I need to draw on this side, so you can see my hands overlap. It's not very convenient, so I don't like to use this when I am using drawing applications. So with my Logitech Bluetooth keyboard, I can do shortcuts very easily. Let me pick a brush and show you the strokes that it can achieve. So there is pressure sensitivity. This is thin, and let me move this aside. And this is thick. However, one thing to note is I do see some form of jitter effect. So let me show that to you. So the lines, they are not exactly smooth. This is a problem with Windows 10 tablet. It's not a problem with Acer. This is just a Windows 10 tablet issue. It happens on Surface Pro 4 as well, and also other Windows tablet that I have tried. It's very irritating, but you can sort of get around this by installing this other software called Lazy Nezumi, which I have already installed. The link for Lazy Nezumi Pro will be in the video description as well. Now, this is a plugin that works with Photoshop to basically smooth out all the curves. So now I'm going to draw the same thing again, and you can see the curves are much smoother and they taper very well, sort of. And you can draw from thin to thick very easily as well. Now here I want to highlight another problem with this stylus. It features 256 levels of pressure sensitivity as compared to the 1000 over levels of sensitivity from the Surface Pro 4 pen. What that means is when I tried using this tablet and stylus for creating very light, faint lines like this, it's not as easy compared to using the Pro 4 tablet or the Surface 3 pen tablet. It can be done, you just have to be a bit more careful, take some time to get used to it, but it can be done. But installing Lazy Nezumi Pro is really going to help you if you want to work with Photoshop. This is very nice with Lazy Nezumi Pro. So that's the only issue I have with Photoshop. The software that I'm using now is MediBang Paint Pro. This is a free drawing software with lots of features for drawing comics. And let me pick the pen and increase the brush size. So I'm going to show you thin and thick strokes with this software. I'm not sure if you can see clearly, but again, as I'm drawing, it can detect pressure well, but the curves, the lines, they are a bit wavy, so it has that same problem with Photoshop. But in this case, there's no workaround that I know of to create the smooth strokes. So this is an issue when working with MediBang Paint Pro. Let me use another software. Let's try Artrage. Artrage is a Windows 10 tablet application. So with Artrage, I think they do some sort of software correction, so they try to smoothen out your lines. So let me pick a brush, a color, and see how well it is at drawing. It can detect pressure. However, I do sense that the lines are still a bit wobbly, but this software, it corrects for them. Although it doesn't correct it 100%, but it is, I think, good enough if you are doing line art or if you want to just do some very casual sketching. So this is probably fine on Artrage. Let's try something else. We have Sketchable as well. Sketchable is also a Windows 10 tablet app. By the way, I'm not able to test all the different apps because there are just so many out there, including desktop apps. So the advantage of Windows is you can use Windows tablet apps as well as desktop apps like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Premiere. So this is Sketchable. Let's try and draw a cube again. By the way, I'm drawing cubes because I want to test how well the Stylus is at drawing diagonal strokes. Because usually for stylus like this, when you draw diagonal strokes, the lines can be a bit wavy. If you draw vertical strokes, not too much of a problem, but diagonal strokes, they are a bit tricky. So here, Sketchable is not very good at diagonal strokes. It doesn't do any correction for the lines, so it appears to be a bit wobbly. Let's try Wacom Bamboo Paper. This is also a Windows 10 tablet app. It's available on iOS and Android as well. I love this app for note taking. So I'm going to take some notes now and show you how it performs. Alright, there is some lag, but it's not too much of an issue. The main thing for me is the letters, they come out quite accurate in the sense that they look like my handwriting, because some software they actually do some correction, or the stylus, it doesn't work that well with that particular software, but in this case I think for note-taking purposes it works quite well. Now palm rejection may or may not work perfectly. You can see some stray marks here. The main thing is when you're writing, if you can see the cursor on the screen, then there's going to be palm rejection. If not, when you lift it up too far from the screen, this is how all these stray strokes come about. Now I'm going to test how well it is at drawing with Wacom Bamboo Paper. Again, I'm going to draw diagonal lines. This is the speed that I draw with. And here I can see that the diagonal lines, they are quite smooth. It's not as wavy compared to other software, so drawing here is quite nice. Some stray strokes again from the palm rejection or the lack of it. Now I'm going to use Adobe Illustrator. This is version CS6. This is the type of speed you can expect applications to launch on this tablet, which is quite fast. So I'm going to create a new document and let me increase the size here. Alright, this is the type of buttons, the size of the buttons and menus that you can expect on this screen resolution. On the Surface Pro 4, which has a high resolution, using the same software, the buttons over there are much smaller and it's frustrating to use. So here they are small, but this is much more usable. So this is a huge plus for this resolution. I mean, it's not as high compared to SP4, but this is more usable, which is the more important point that I'm trying to make. So let me pick a brush. I'm going to show you thin and thick strokes. You can do that as well with Adobe Illustrator. This software, they do some sort of correction to the strokes because, well, this is vector. Although I can see some sort of wavy thing going on again, but this software, it does that correction, so it's not that big of a problem. Now the last software I want to show you is Mischief. Mischief is a very nice sketching software on the Windows 10 tablet. This is the full version. They also have the trial version which you can try. I like it so much, that's why I buy the full version. Okay. Alright. Some issues here. Again, there's this strange dot, and sometimes when I start to draw, I start with a perfectly straight line. Sometimes if I want to curve it, they will give me a straight line. Now this is a problem with Windows tablet, the WinTab driver specifically. So I need to close this down and turn off WinTab driver. I actually have a hack that I found online that helps me turn WinTab off. So now WinTab is off. I'm going to launch Mischief again to show you what it is supposed to look like. So with WinTab off, this is much better, although the lines again, they are slightly wavy. So it really depends on which software you use. The functionality of the Stylus depends on the software that you use. I think overall it's alright for casual doodling, but I really do not like how the wavy lines look like. So I use other software like Wacom Bamboo Paper or Adobe Photoshop or even Illustrator. So this is Mischief. Now if I want to use Photoshop again, I have to turn on WinTab driver. If you are having problem with your Windows tablet, I will put a link to where you can find this hack in the video description, so you can download and use the same hack as me. Alright, that's almost all for the demonstration. Generally speaking, the accuracy is quite good. There is some lag when it comes to drawing, but it's not too different from other tablets that I have tried, so it's not that big of an issue. I don't find that it's frustrating. That's the main thing, so it's still enjoyable to draw on this tablet. This is Photoshop. So is the Acer a worthy competitor to the Surface Pro 4 when it comes to drawing? I would say yes to a certain extent. The only downside is the Acer pen, which only features 256 levels of pressure sensitivity. I feel that when I'm using the pen, when I'm trying to draw very thin strokes, I do not get that level of sensitivity compared to the Surface Pro 4 pen. So with the Acer, the thin lines that I want, they usually come out a bit thicker. With the Surface pen, I can draw with little to no pressure and I'm still able to get those thin lines, but here the lines, they appear to be a bit thicker, so that's the main difference for me. Now when it comes to software users, Windows or WinTab driver issues, this is the same as Surface tablets, so no comparison there. They are very similar. It's not a hardware issue, it's a software and OS issue. Talking about the hardware, this is cheaper by the Surface Pro 4 by US $300, and if you include the Surface type cover, that's a difference of US $400. So it is a very significant difference. You can save a lot of money if you actually go for the Acer tablet. But the downside is, well, it includes a lot of bloatware that has no easy way to remove. And the liquid cooling system, while it's nice, it's not that effective at cooling down the system. So now that I have used this for more than over an hour, it feels a bit warm. Perhaps you can adjust the brightness to make it less bright so that it will be less warm, but it's still a bit warm. So for those who cannot stand the heat, then it may not be comfortable to draw on this. I would recommend this tablet to those who want a general purpose tablet that can run desktop software. If you want to use this as a digital sketch pad, you can do so, but just be where that with some graphic software you're going to get that wavy diagonal lines. If you want to do serious work with Photoshop, make sure to install the plugin Nezumi Pro. If not, personally I don't think it's worth drawing on Photoshop without the plugin. That's all for my review today. If you have any questions, do feel free to post them in the comment section below. I will also post a text review in case there are any updates to my experience. I'll post it there. You can also check out the compatibility with other software that I have tested but not shown in this review. I hope this review has been helpful to you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.